Hello world. It's Monday the 27th of January 2025 and we're looking at a weather forecast for tomorrow, Tuesday the 28th, for soaring from Worcester. Today was a non-flying day. We had a strong southeasterly wind and low cloud. We had some pleasant flying in the motor glider, but there was no task. Tomorrow it's still southeasterly, but there's much less moisture. But the wind is a little bit different. The wind is coming mainly from the east, and then it's curving around along the mountain, up the Breda River Valley, and round the corner into Tilbach. There's also a component which is coming from the northeast and crossing over the back of the ridge between Worcester and Robertson. This is looking at a surface wind for 2 o'clock. And if we go out to 5 o'clock, you can see it's the same pattern, but the wind speed is picked up. It's now about 20 knots surface wind. So the first question is, when there's a strong southeasterly wind, is what's happening with the moisture in the cloud base? And I'm going to use the new forecast system to have a look at that. This is for tomorrow, 28th of January, on a 2 kilometer resolution forecast. And you can actually see that there's a lot less moisture than there was today. That's Robertson and that's Swellendam. Robertson sitting with a cloud base of quite high, 6.5 or 7,000 feet, and at Swellendam it's still reasonably high, 5,500 feet. This is for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If I go back to midday, you can see there's quite a lot more clouds, so it's actually burning off during the day. Swellendam sitting here around 4,500, 5,000 feet. But just as a point of warning, because there's no cloud in these blue holes over here, doesn't mean that there's no moisture. It's just that there's not enough heat to cause the updraft that would result in the cloud. If I look at the cloud base, irrespective of whether there's any cloud or not, we can see the natural cloud base is straight through the whole area at around 5,000 or 5,500 feet. So that is going to be the limit for the day. So cloud is not actually a problem, but let's go and have a look some more. I'm going to look at some soundings. That's Robertson at 2 o'clock. We can see that this wind is strongly from the east and with a northeasterly component over the top of the ridge. Just a little bit of cloud and it's quite high at 2 o'clock. Swellendam at 2 o'clock, this T5 shows the cloud a bit lower. This is actually a slightly different model to the one that's used in the new forecast, so that's why there's a slightly difference in the prediction. But you can see the strong wind blowing along the valley, and it's very easterly. It's very little component onto the ridge itself. And at 5 o'clock, same thing, except that the inversion is getting lower. That's Robertson at 5 o'clock, and this nose of valley wind is coming through. Looking at the other direction of going north, this is a boundary layer wind at 2 o'clock, and as you can see, the wind that comes through the Breda River Valley goes around the corner and squirts out into the Tilbach Valley, and it's high wind speed and actually at low level. Once again on the Witzenberg we have a easterly flow, and I'm not sure if that Witzenberg will work. Looking at a few soundings at Stilbach at 2 o'clock, and you can see this very strong wind squirting down the valley, and the northeasterly component coming in over the back of the Witzenberg. And the same at 5 o'clock, although this nose is even more pronounced. So what does that mean? Well, I think we can launch and we can fly. The task will be quite challenging and likely quite short. If we go to the east, it will be into strong wind that's parallel to the ridge, and if we go around to the north, it will be very tricky. You'll have to work little faces that happen to face into wind and do S-turns and things, and then push on to the next one, and if you're coming home, that will be pushing up against a fairly strong headwind. So I think we'll have some fun tomorrow. I think we'll do some flying, but it won't be a very big task. If we do fly, then fly safe and be careful, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night.